Oh my god, guys. For anyone that's an Edmonton Oilers fan, you would not believe what happened. Edmonton Oilers forward Cave dies at 8:25 today in the hospital from a brain bleeding disorder. I think a disorder or incident. I can't remember, but made this guy. This is some sad shit right here, guys. Excuse my language, but this is crazy. You know, I don't know this player, but I can tell you, a lot of Edmonton fans are probably a big fan of this guy. I imagine he's a good player. Isn't that crazy, guys? So, 25 years old. He had so much more to live for than what happened to him. You know, I don't know the player, but you know, that's a short time of life. That's not right. And I hope in the future they are able to somehow stop a brain. They need to fix, you know, this is a disorder. Like, people do have brain bleeding disorders or some kind of disease that can make their brain bleed. And there needs to be a cure for this. Like, there's people in the world that suffer from brain bleeding disorders, and it's not something to mess around with. Because right now, it can't be fixed. There's no surgery for it. There's no cure. And there needs to be something that can re-heal this and make it go away. Because in the future, I think it will be a cure. Because it's a big deal. Some people have this in the world, and they feel guilty for it, right? Because, you know, I think anyone would. It comes in shock. But anyways, guys, I hope Cave, you know, I think he will rest in peace, you know. And I'm sure the family and his wife is shocked about this. I don't know the player, but I am an Edmonton fan as well. I do like Edmonton. They are a good team. My main team is Toronto. You know, they're my number one team, but I don't really have another second favorite team. I do like Edmonton a little bit, not a lot, but I don't mind them. They're a good team. But anyways, let's get on to the next topic of today. So, the next topic of today we're talking about is what the Toronto Maple Leafs need to get desperately at whenever it's time they can come out and get, whenever it's time for any NHL team that can get another player, a big name. I feel like Toronto is going to get a big name when they're going to be doing a few more trades, and I feel like there's one guy in particular that, oh my god, I really want Toronto to get. Because the guy he's not retiring. He's only 30. He is 30, age 30, but he's won a Stanley Cup. He's a captain, but he's a defenseman, but he's a free agent this year. He is a free agent. Technically, because the season's technically over, but he is a free agent. I know you're probably thinking Joe Thornton. Yes, I would like to see Joe Thornton go to Toronto. I don't know. I don't think he's a defenseman. I think he's a center. I don't really know. I haven't really read up on him. But he does have some toughness in him. Joe Thornton does have some toughness in him, and he doesn't F around. Like, if someone does something bad on the team, Joe Thornton will go after these guys. Now, I know Toronto has Kyle Clifford. I love Kyle Clifford. This guy can stick up for his team. The guy can fight. No joke, the guy is a monster for fighting. But Joe Thornton, they can't have one guy fighting as well. They need more than one guy that can fight. And Joe Thornton can fight. But he's a free agent as well. Another guy that's free agent this year, and I wouldn't mind seeing Toronto get him because he's a really good defenseman. He is a free agent. The St. Louis Blues captain, free agent Alex Pietrangelo. There is so many rumors going around that Toronto is very interested in Alex Pietrangelo. And thankfully this trade didn't happen. Now, Toronto is apparently still interested in him, but last year when Nylander still wasn't signed, and they were trying to get him signed for something crazy deal, they got him. Thankfully Nylander did not get traded, because right now Nylander is my second favorite player on the team. Marner's fourth right now because Marner has not been a very good surprise this year. He was very disappointing this year. Probably because he didn't get to go to any practices. He wasn't signed for a lot of the year, and they finally got him signed just at the right time. Because if they didn't get him signed that day, he would have been traded, unfortunately. But you know what? I'm starting to think maybe Marner could be traded. I like Marner. I'm not going to lie. Marner's a good player. But I'm telling you, if he doesn't improve next season, he probably will be traded, because if he has another bad season, he should go and get someone a lot better, because Marner, he's a lot of money, but for a first round pick, I think Marner could be traded. I like Marner though. But anyway, Nylander supposedly last year, he wasn't getting signed. And he still wasn't signed for, it was like winter time, and he still wasn't signed. And apparently Nylander was up for trades, and Pietrangelo was up for grabs with Toronto. But that never happened. Now, here's my question. Because St. Louis knows Pietrangelo is age 30. He's almost in his 40s. He has a lot of salary cap. They could get, St. Louis could get back a crap ton of money from this guy. And I think that's what St. Louis is trying to do right now. They want to get rid of him because of the salary cap. Now, Toronto really needs someone like Pietrangelo. The guy can do everything perfectly. He's a really good defenseman. And I'd say there's a 90% chance Toronto will get the guy, because he's good. He's really good. And I know a lot of teams are going to be interested in him, but I could see Pietrangelo picking Toronto. Because first of all, the community, the fans, just the island in general of Toronto is amazing. And I could see Pietrangelo picking Toronto. I could see Tyson Barrie, Cody Ceci, possibly Justin Hall, and someone else involved into this trade. Justin Hall, I wasn't too big of a fan of. I don't mind Justin Hall, but I have a problem with him. This season, when Justin Hall was playing with Sheldon Keefe, Justin Hall took 4 penalties in one game. And this is not the first time Justin Hall has done this. He's taken 3 or 4 penalties in one game. That's not good at all. And I don't know if Justin Hall is from Ottawa Senators or where he's from. I think he's from the Marlies. I could be wrong. But Justin Hall should be traded because I'm telling you, I don't trust him. Or Tyson Barrie or Cody Ceci. And guys, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, I know there's gonna be haters right now after I said this. But it's a part of YouTube. Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley could be another option. And I know what you're saying. Oh, F you, man. Morgan Riley's a good defenseman. I know he's a good defenseman. He is. But Toronto needs defense like Jake Muzzin. A perfect example. And Alex Pietrangelo is a perfect example of a defenseman. The guy can hit. The guy can kill penalties. The guy can shoot and score. Could you imagine him and Muzzin on the same line? I don't know if they shoot both the same. Now if they do, I don't know if him and Riley shoot the same, but if they don't, he could be on the same line. He could be on a line with Riley. Now if Muzzin and him don't shoot the same and they shoot the opposite, put him on with Muzzin. And I'm telling you, that would be a beastly defensive line right there. Muzzin and Pietrangelo could be the top defensemen in the first line with and put the forwards on like Matthews, Marner, Nylander, put them on the line, first line as well, and Tavares. But man, this guy, Pietrangelo, there was rumors going around last year when Nylander wasn't signed in the wintertime. It was near Christmas, and he finally got signed, but apparently it almost happened. Nylander almost went to St. Louis, but it didn't happen. And I'm kind of happy they didn't trade Nylander. If they traded Nylander now, I'd be mad. Because that guy, first of all, if anyone tries to troll me saying Nylander got traded, I can just go on type up Toronto Maple Leafs on Google, and if there's no news about Nylander traded, it's fake. And plus, I wouldn't. If anyone tries telling me that, it's fake. I can already tell you that right now. Nylander's their key player. Matthews is. Someone tried messaging me on Sportsnet. Some troll tried to say, "Oh, Matthews doesn't have any potential or any heart." I was like, "Go back to bed. You're drunk." Matthews could have broke one of the world records on Toronto for 55 goals. One of them. And he could have won the trophy, but a lot of people were saying Draisaitl or Ovechkin were going to win it. I think it was going to be Ovechkin, but that's just my opinion. But think of it this way, guys. Pietrangelo has a lot of potential of going to Toronto. And I can see it happening. I don't know why. I just have this big feeling that some Toronto fans don't think they're going to get him. Believe me, I think Toronto is really going to get him. And if they don't hate the video, please. If Toronto doesn't, if Toronto doesn't get him, there's nothing they can really do. But I just really think that this guy is going to be interested in going there. I really think he's going to want to go to Toronto because he knows what the fans are like there. He's played in Toronto with St. Louis. They went into Toronto and played against Toronto. And it's almost like every team likes playing in Toronto. I don't know what it is. It's almost like even when Boston goes to Toronto, I'm not a Boston fan. They're the worst team ever. I don't like Boston. But even the Bruins, like Chara, even said he likes playing in Toronto. It's something special. And it is. Like, Toronto's a good community. They have good fans. Toronto has the best fans. You can't beat Toronto fans. I don't care if a Hat fan thinks their fans are better. I don't think so. I think Toronto's arena is louder than Montreal. Big time. That's my opinion. But I don't know, guys. Joe Thornton might. I think Joe Thornton also has a chance to go to Toronto. Now, this will be shocking. What if Joe Thornton and Alex Pietrangelo both go to Toronto this year? Could you imagine? That would be a gold trophy winner right there for Toronto. Because, first of all, Pietrangelo would get them. There's no. He would get them to the semifinals. I bet you that right now. Even Joe Thornton could easily help Toronto out, get to the semifinals. And even if Toronto made it to the third round and lost in the third round, I'm still happy. From 2 years ago when Toronto got taken out the first round by Boston once again, and if they did it next year, made it to the semifinals or the finals, maybe even won the cup next year. Like, Pietrangelo just has so much to offer. He can block shots. He can hit. He's rough. He can score. He has skill. Everything about him is, like, beyond. Like, he's a key player that Toronto needs. And I really hope he does go to Toronto. And if he does, man, that's going to be awesome. Because if he does go to Toronto, he's automatically my favorite defenseman. You know, he's just a really good player. He knows how to play, too. I don't know if he's ever fought before, but he's unreal. And he's not Victor Hedman, but he's Alex Pietrangelo. Like, Victor Hedman's a good defenseman, but I think Alex Pietrangelo could be even better than this guy. Like, Victor Hedman ain't leaving Tampa Bay anytime soon. Not for a few years, at least. Not for a long time. I think Victor Hedman will never leave Tampa Bay. The fans in Tampa Bay are unreal. They cheer like it's a loud arena. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think. There's also rumors going around that Ryan Reeves is not going to sign again with the Golden Knights, and I can kind of see why this is rumored. But I don't think he's gonna be leaving the Golden Knights. I don't think he's gonna. But if he does, that's another player Toronto should try to get, because the guy hits a lot. Like, almost basically every game, he will try to hit you if you have the puck. And he can fight. Like, really, he's a monster. Like, he makes Kyle Clifford look like a baby. Like, he's strong. He's not tall, but he's strong as hell. Like, he's not really a mean player. He's mean on ice, but he's nice off the ice. And it makes sense. You know? He likes to get the team pumped up. That's why he does what he does, Ryan Reeves. That's his job. That's why he's getting paid all that money. You know, and I got another chat here before I end this video. I just thought of something. I feel like hockey players now these days are getting paid too much money. Too much money. And their job is to do a lot. Their job is to score a lot of goals. And they're getting paid like $24 million, some of these players. Now, Matthews got his money worth. Austin Matthews is getting like what, almost 30 million, if not 30 million, because literally he's Toronto's best player. Next year he could hit, I think Matthews next year will either hit 70 or 80 goals, I think. Like, he's going to be a monster next year. But, you know, I just think any hockey player, like, there's some hockey players now that are getting paid all this money and they don't do anything on the team. They play stupid. They don't try. Like, Marner did some cool things this year. Marner's got some really cool goals, but he was a ghost all year. And he got all this money. And he's probably laughing at Kyle Dubas, like, thinking, what are you doing? Like, he's probably laughing at Dubas right now, saying, you gave me all this money, and I haven't even played good. Like, Marner next year should be getting a lot less than what he got this year. Sheldon Keefe should be telling Kyle Dubas, you know what? Marner should not be getting paid the big bucks. He has done nothing all year, basically. He's made a couple cool goals, couple nice assists, but he hasn't been like one of the main players. He's been a ghost all year, and he's supposed to be like this key player. And he hasn't showed it this year at all whatsoever. Actually, I shouldn't say that. One game, the Carolina game when Toronto bet them 8-6. By the way, Carolina fans are so rude. They don't have any respect whatsoever, they don't have class or any respect, a Carolina fan. They're so rude. Like, don't have any respect and try to brag how their team is so good because they can, you know, do it all because they got Jake Gardiner. Toronto was probably laughing when Jake Gardiner went to Carolina, saying, thanks for all that money. Now we can go get some better players. You don't need, and a lot of haters are going to come on here, you don't need a first round pick to get an Alex Pietrangelo or a Joe Thornton, for an example, or a Ryan Reeves or a Zdeno Chara, which I think Chara is going to be retiring after next year, probably. I mean, we keep saying he's gonna, but he keeps going. Like, man, he has so much passion, that guy. He's not as good as he was, Chara. He's good. He's almost 50. And he can hit pretty good still. Like, he doesn't lay many hits now, but his slap shot is still unreal. Anyways, that's my topic for today. All the Toronto fans will agree with me. You know, there was a guy today trying to tell me, I said on one of a YouTuber channel, I said, Anderson's not the problem. And this guy was so dumb. He came on my channel and said, Anderson, not on my channel, he messaged me and was like, Anderson's the problem. I'm like, God, you are a troll. Like, when Toronto's playing, right? When Toronto's playing their game, they can win. When they play good, they can beat anybody. But, like, Anderson's not the problem. Sheldon Keefe is not the problem. And Kyle Dubas is not the problem. Or Brandon Shanahan. None of them guys are the problem. Cody Cece's the problem. Tyson Barrie's the problem. Taylor Hall's the problem. And you're probably saying, why Taylor Hall? He was good. Yeah, he was good. Because he can make assists. He can block shots. He can steal the puck. But Morgan Riley, Taylor Hall, Cody Cece, Tyson Barrie, these defensemen are too scared to play rough against another team. They can block shots and steal pucks, but they don't play rough. And this is why Toronto takes around 40 shots or 50 shots against another team. Because their defense lacks toughness. If you don't got toughness, you are not getting anywhere in the playoffs. You may have tough offensive players like Austin Matthews. Matthews, by the way, probably has the best offensive defense in the NHL, in my opinion. The guy is unreal when it comes to offensive defense. And you're probably thinking, that's impossible. Offensive players have key defense as well. And Austin Matthews is 216 pounds, 6'3" or 6'4". He barely needs to hit someone and they go flying into the boards. He's a monster as well. Like, Matthews is not scared to hit anybody when he needs to. Cody Ceci, Tyson Barrie, Justin Hall, and Morgan Riley should be looking into these players for trade options. I like Morgan Riley. I'm not going to lie. He's good. But this is a perfect example. There's some games when Riley looks like he's effortless out there. That when Muzzin got hurt and he came back and played Tampa Bay and then Toronto won, Muzzin stepped up significantly that game. He was trying to hit people that had the puck every second. He almost had a breakaway goal, Jake Muzzin, that game. He was unreal. By far the best defenseman on the team that game. And then he got hurt, I'm pretty sure, that game. And Steven Stamkos on Tampa Bay. Or was it Victor Hedman? I can't remember. Like, Jake Muzzin makes Morgan Riley and Justin Hall, Cody Ceci, and Tyson Barrie look like kids. They make them look scared. Because Tyson Barrie, he stands right in front of the net. And he does this with a stick. Oh, I'm going to stop this puck. What happens? It goes up over him, past him, goes in the net, scores. The other team. Like Tyson Barrie and Cody Ceci, they stand way up at close to Anderson. Anderson can't see a damn thing. That's not good defense. You're supposed to be down further, and you're supposed to be trying to be. If another team, a player has the puck and they're coming up to Toronto and they almost have a breakaway. Morgan Riley that game, when McDavid had the puck and he was looking the other way, he was making Morgan Riley think, oh, McDavid's going to pass. McDavid skates around Morgan Riley and scores on Anderson. He made Morgan Riley look so stupid. Morgan Riley should have pushed him, frickin' tried to hit him, like knock him down. Like, that's toughness, right? That's what you got to do. You got to try not knocking players down when they're trying to score on your goalie. You got to push them around, shove them around, right? You got to be rough on the other team. Because what's going to happen is if you're rough on the other team, they're going to have less confidence than Toronto. Toronto's going to have more energy. The team's going to start getting pumped up because I feel more confident that Anderson is safe. You know, like Pietrangelo, the guy is strong. Like, he can hit. He is rough. You know, like, he has so much potential to go to Toronto. And there's hundreds of rumors on Google of this guy going to Toronto from 2019 to 2018 to 2020. I think 2020, I'm not sure. But it was this year. You know, I don't know if he's 200 pounds. I think he's like 198 pounds or like 210 pounds. Something like that. But he's like 6'4" or something like that. He's a pretty big defenseman. And that's not, you know, his personality, even his personality on ice, off ice. You can tell he brings a new level to St. Louis. But St. Louis definitely is trying to trade him. Even the fact that he's a free agent, they would resign him. But here's the thing. His salary cap. I haven't searched it up, but I'm sure it's not cheap. And I'm sure Toronto will do anything to fix the defense. Not anything, like they're not going to trade Tavares, Matthews, or Nylander, or Marner. Nothing that stupid, but Morgan Riley. They could trade Riley and Justin Hall for Pietrangelo and a cheap player off St. Louis as well. 2 players. You know. And I think it's possible. Like, Toronto has valuable players, but I think Morgan Riley would be better in St. Louis. You know, and I think Justin Hall, you know, he looks good in the Toronto jersey, but, like, come on. He takes too many penalties. You know, that's the thing you got to understand. You know, he's not Timashov or that Illigrant guy. He's not Eggvall or anything like that, but Eggvall's pretty good. I like him. I know it seems like I'm talking to myself, but I'm trying to make this interesting. And a lot of Leaf fans are going to agree, like, they would like to see Joe Thornton go to Toronto. Alex Pietrangelo. They could get Joe Thornton. They could trade. I think Joe Thornton is a right winger. I'm not so sure, though. He's either center, right wing, or left wing. I don't think he's defense. But Joe Thornton could fix their blue line. Big time. He could. Pietrangelo could fix the D lines. Big time. Pietrangelo, I'm pretty sure, is a left winger. I could be wrong. He's either right wing or left wing. I'm pretty sure he's right. But I could be wrong. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Should Toronto even bother putting the time in to try to get Pietrangelo off of St. Louis? Because he's a free agent. Toronto could get him. Toronto should be getting Joe Thornton this year and Pietrangelo. Them 2 guys Toronto needs. If they have to choose, they need Alex Pietrangelo. Joe Thornton's getting old. Maybe Ryan Reeves. Probably not. But anything's possible. Anyways, guys. See you guys in another video. I might make a few more hockey videos.